shall we? So how many of you are thinking about possibly double majoring in college? Or for those of you who have already graduated, how many of you did double major in college? Okay, you can put your hands down. If you're considering double majoring in college, you're not alone. According to the Department of Education, the number of students who double major in college has increased over 70% between the years 2001 and 2011. As you can see from this table from a great 2012 study out of Vanderbilt, there's a lot of reasons for doing that. AP credits have made it easier than ever. A lot of students want it to make them more competitive in an increasingly brutal job market. A lot of students like you will want to placate mom and dad over your English major by slapping on a biochemistry major on top. But let's dig into something even deeper and more fundamental than landing your dream internship or standing out on your future medical school application. And that's resilience. Resilience is the reason why the go-getters and self-starters of the previous generation went double deep and encouraged us to go double deep in our studies. It means that you always had a backup plan when one thing didn't work out for you, and it meant that when you experienced a shock to your system, you would be more prepared than a single deep counterpart would. Now, I started out talking about double majors, but I've switched to the term double deep. Why? I started off with majors because college is more relatable, but the better term is double deep because your self-investment and development goes far beyond a list of requirements handed to you by your academic department. It certainly doesn't end when you graduate, get your dream job, land the corner office, and have your framed degrees and awards lining the walls. So here's a story about someone who double majored and someone else who went double deep. On the left here, we have double major Dan. Double major Dan studied Spanish and business in college. When he graduated, he got a great job in corporate consulting, where he was able to leverage his business skills. Although double major Dan loved his job, it was high pressure, and he took advantage of his precious time off to relax, binge watching Netflix and going to happy hour with his friends. Double deep Dana on the right also majored in Spanish and business in college. When she graduated, she got a great job in corporate consulting as well. Double deep Dana also had a high-pressure job, and so she took advantage of her time off to watch Netflix occasionally and go to happy hour with her friends. However, Dana also knew she had invested a lot of time, energy, and money in improving her Spanish language skills, and she didn't want to lose them. So she decided to join a Spanish culture and conversation club where she could meet like-minded people and unwind and improve herself at the same time. 2 years later, both double major Dan and double deep Dana are promoted, successful, and satisfied with their lives. Both situations sound pretty nice. Another 2 years later, however, they each enter a professional crisis. They've joined new teams with horrible bosses, they're burned out from the constantly shifting projects and priorities of their industry, and the corporate consulting field has become more competitive than ever, opting for more and more recent graduates for fewer and fewer available positions. Both Dan and Dana know it's time for a change. Let's take a look at double major Dan's situation. He is highly qualified to keep doing the work that he's been doing. He might be able to find a similar position at another company within the same field, but he's highly unqualified to do anything else. That is, unless he decides to go back to graduate school and get a costly degree. Not that he knows what he would want to study outside of his field anyway. Double deep Dana, on the other hand, has increased her understanding of Spanish-speaking cultures and is more advanced in the Spanish language than she has ever been. Combined with her business expertise, double deep Dana considers moving to South America to serve as an executive at a startup. She considers moving to Spain to pursue an international business degree, or independently consulting for American businesses that want to market to Hispanic communities. Who would you rather be in the crisis situation? Now, I've talked about double deep, but my talk isn't called double deep. It's called triple deep. So double deep is not bad advice. In fact, it's what the previous generation advised us to do. But I think you can do better. I think you can go triple deep. And I want to use myself as an example because I know for a fact that I am not better or smarter or more capable than any of you, and triple deep works. So here is a diagram of my triple depth. Everything intersects. I want to reiterate that I exist at the intersection of these things. Triple Deep works best if you can find opportunities to integrate your different skills, just as Double Deep Dana did with Spanish and business, and just as Reem Mohammed did in her previous talk with activism and medicine. Triple Deep is a framework for keeping you constantly invested in yourself in a world with scarce resources, including motivation. When I get tired of tech news, I can do my politics homework. When I get tired of politics homework, I can figure out how to build an Arabic keyboard learning program. Trust me, it's a lot easier to work in the intersections of many things than to just flip back and forth between two when you get tired. I also want to emphasize that Triple Deep is not just a matter of you signing up for 3 things now and you're stuck with them for the rest of your life. Rather, it is a framework for keeping you constantly invested in yourself. For example, if I decided today that I wanted to become an American literary expert, I wouldn't really have the time or energy or money to do that without giving up one of these 3 things. I may decide that that's a sacrifice worth making, but Triple Deep helps me weigh the opportunity cost. It helps me see what I'd be giving up. And there's a reason that I'll say stick to 3 things as opposed to 4 or 5 or 10. Triple Deep falls apart if you spread yourself too thin. You need to personalize Triple Deep for yourself. One of my 3 things is Arabic, but if you're a polyglot, then one of your 3 things may be foreign languages in general, and you would have Spanish and Italian and French all balled up in there. In fact, your abilities may change over time, so it's up to you to know yourself and what you can realistically maintain. It's a brutal and hyper-competitive world out there, and by now you know that the more things you apply for, the better off you'll be. Well, Triple Deep makes you eligible for 3 times as many opportunities. It was my technology background that allowed me to take online classes outside of my college that would count towards my graduate degree, and my passion for politics that led to a scholarship so that I could accept an internship at the US Embassy in Paris, France. In addition to making you eligible for 3 times as many things, Triple Deep helps you stand out once the application is in. I recently applied for and won an Arabic fellowship to pay for the rest of my graduate degree. I'm sure the fact that I was not a Middle East studies major helped me stand out throughout the application process. I would have never even been eligible for this fellowship had I only stayed Double Deep. But the real reason why Triple Deep matters so much is resilience, and that is the key to prevailing over circumstances you can't control. It's not about fancy trips to Europe or winning large sums of money. I want you all to imagine that you are about to receive the worst news you have ever received. Imagine you leave this TEDx conference and you walk out of this room and you pull out your smartphone and you have a missed call, a voicemail. And in that voicemail is the greatest system shock you have ever experienced. I want you to be Triple Deep because I know it will prepare you for this moment. I received that voicemail a few days before my 20th birthday. I was in college. By the time I got home late that night, my father had passed away. I'm not so naive as to say that Triple Deep is the one thing that got me through that difficult time. It's not. But it did make a world of difference in my practical life. My work in technology gave me a work schedule and a promotion that allowed me to ease my financial burden throughout my time as an undergraduate. My focus in politics coursework allowed me to graduate a year early. And my passion for Arabic led to an amazing summer abroad that began many of my adventures living, working, studying, and traveling overseas, a huge part of my healing process. Again, Triple Deep is a framework for keeping you constantly invested in yourself in a life with scarce resources. It is immediately actionable and universally applicable. You can decide to go Triple Deep at age 16, or you can decide to go Triple Deep at age 55. All you have to do is go home tonight and pick 3 things. 3 things that you care about and 3 things that you can improve on. Then you have to stick with them. Stick with them until you find something better. And when you find something better, weigh the costs and make the switch or don't make the switch. It's that simple. I can guarantee that if you go Triple Deep today, your present self, the one who faces the least difficult challenges and the one who doesn't need resilience at all, will greatly benefit your future self, the one who faces the greatest trials and needs that resilience most. Thank you.